Using various tools, I want to show you exactly how I work on deals, what I do in my business every single day, day in and day out when I'm wholesaling and flipping houses. So get ready to watch me analyze a deal live coming up.
This video is brought to you by 10K Club, a program that pays you $10,000 for finding ugly houses. Learn more at my10kcheck.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton. I went from dead broke to millionaire flipping houses, and after doing 1,000 deals, I created this channel to help you master the art of wholesaling and flipping so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. Okay, so here's the deal. I have a finder program. Some of you know about this, and the way it works is people can submit deals to me. If they meet my criteria, I'll buy that deal, pay them a $10,000 finder fee. If you want to learn more about that program and how you can be a finder for me, you can just go to my10kcheck.com. But recently, one of my students in the finder program submitted this deal, and it's in New Orleans. And so it went through my deal review process, and now it's in front of me. So I'm looking over this deal, and I want to show you exactly how I'm looking at this deal. Now, I quickly went through this a few minutes ago. I came up with my understanding of the deal, the numbers, how I would look at it, how I would approach this deal. And I want to now show you that. So I'm going to recreate basically my analysis. I'm going to show you how I'm breaking down the numbers, how I'm looking at the deal. And I'm coming to you from the perspective of a fix and flipper. Now, this is important if you're a wholesaler or a fix and flipper, but if you're a wholesaler, because the number one thing to do to get better at wholesaling is understand how your cash buyer thinks. How do they analyze deals? How do they look at the numbers? The better you understand your buyer, the easier it is for you to then bring deals that match what your buyer's looking for. And every single deal review I do, I make sure I do a very thorough breakdown of how I'm looking at the deal and how I'm looking at the numbers and what makes it a good deal and what price you need to get it for so that it is a successful deal. So a couple of things before we jump in, and I'm gonna jump right on the screen. We're gonna do a screen cap. I'm gonna show you how I do this. I'm also gonna show you how I use my software, some of the tools I use to break down the numbers and analyze this. So I want you to kind of pay really close attention. This is actually something I do quite often here on the channel. Every Saturday we do a Watch Me Wholesale show where I randomly pick a market, we go find a distressed property, then we analyze it, call, make an offer. And so if you want to get better at this, which I highly recommend you do, make sure you check that out. I'll put a link in the description below with the playlist to watch those live deals as we do that show. So this is going to be sort of a similar format where I'm going to actually show you how I look at it, how I'm breaking down the deals, and the tools that I use to do that. So, but first and foremost, I both wholesale and fix and flip. I'm wearing my fix and flip hat right now. If you're a wholesaler, you would simply back out your wholesale fee. Other than that, the analysis is pretty much the same. Other than you have to understand your buyer. So for me as a fix and flipper, I like to buy houses following the 70% formula. Now that's rare as of this recording. Most fix and flippers pay 75% less repairs, all the way up to 80% less repairs. Some cash buyers are paying even higher than that. I don't. The reason why, I want to make sure I've got really good margins on my fix and flips. If I'm going to go through all of the work to find the money and close on it and own it and renovate it and hire contractors, take that time, that energy, that effort, that capital, it better be a money maker. I better have good margins. So that's why I believe in the 70% formula. And so I'm analyzing this deal following the 70% formula. But if you're wholesaling in your market, unless you're wholesaling to me, if you're wholesaling to some other cash buyer flipper, you want to learn what the going formula is in your market, and that's the formula you're going to use as a wholesaler. I hope that makes sense. I did a video that really breaks that down, how to do your formula and base it on what buyers are paying in your market. So I'll put a link to that video below because it's really important that you adjust according to your market and what buyers are doing. As time goes on, buyers change, you would change with them. So for me on this deal, I'm gonna be following the 70% formula. I'll show you how I break that down. So this deal, I'm gonna switch over to my screen now. This is a property that is currently pending. My student actually has the contract on this. It came out for $139, and It's a partially renovated. So if you look here, the investor who bought this house, I'll scroll through the pictures real quick. You can see there's materials in the property. There's some plywood. There's a whole stack of, I don't know what, tile maybe. And there's doors off the hinges. They ripped out all the flooring. Some demo's been done. So this is an investor who got started, and I don't know the whole story. I don't actually know what's going on here, but from the pictures, it's somebody started doing a renovation and then stopped. Maybe they figured, you know what, we could probably sell it and make money. Market's doing great without finishing it. Maybe they ran out of money. Who knows? But I've done a handful of deals now in this market. There's also a video which is really helpful. If we get a second, we'll watch the walkthrough video that they uploaded here. But they're asking $139. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,620 square feet. And they call these, if you know this market, they call these shotgun. And basically, they're so narrow that when you come in the front door, you basically have to walk through all the rooms to get to the back of the house. So that's why they call it a shotgun. And this was actually a double shotgun converted back into a single. So it says that. It says shotgun double converted to a single. So what's interesting is if you look at this picture right here, there's a door and there's a door. So I don't know how you could possibly put a wall down the middle of this thing and make it like a 2-unit. It must have been that originally at some point in time. But right away, that means we got to reconfigure the front of this house because we can't have 2 front doors. That's not going to look right. So one of these doors has to be eliminated. There's brickwork here. We're going to end up having to do a bunch of porch work. But this is a full-blown rehab here to get this thing right. Now, how do I know that? Because I've looked at what the ARV, the fixed up homes look like. We'll get to that in a minute. But I just want to kind of give you the overview on this property. So it's $139. The first thing I want to do is I want to establish what my ARV is. If I'm going to buy this, I'm going to dump a bunch of money into fixing it up. What can I sell it for on the open market as a renovated home? So let me show you how we do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this link of this Zillow. It's on Zillow of this property. So I'm going to right click, duplicate the link. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give me a zoomed out map of this neighborhood when you first land on that link. Just start hitting your plus button and zoom in, and Zillow will take you pretty much right to the center of it. So here's St. Anthony. We're like right in here on this street. Now what I want to do here is you look at this freeway running through here. You've got this major road right here and another major road right here. 2 like double 2-lane with a medium on both of these. So for me, looking at doing a deal right on this street right in here, I really don't want to cross this triangle. I don't want to go outside of that. Maybe there's comps all around here that are relevant, but I don't want to cross these streets right here. I'm going to stay within that. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the boundary and draw a boundary. So with my mouse right now, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to follow along the freeway, along this road here, and then back up this one right here. And that's my boundary. I'm going to hit apply. And so from here on out, I'm not looking at anything outside of this triangle we created. Again, why? I don't want to cross major roads. When you cross major roads, you change neighborhoods. I want to stay right here and hope that I can find enough data to figure out the numbers. So right now we're on for sale. So I want to switch this to solds because what's most important to me is sold data. I want to try to find relevant homes that are similar. So make sure you only have houses selected right here, none of these other ones. Under the More tab, I created a filter here between 1,250 up to 2,000. I could probably go 1,750, but we're 16 something, 1620. So I'll probably keep this at 2,000. So I create a range now. And this has no basement, no garage, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then on Zillow, I'm going to tell it only go back 12 months. And okay, so in this neighborhood, in that price range, or in that square footage range, we only have 2 comps. We have this one and this one. Now, this is non-disclosure, so it's not giving me the sold prices, but take a look. This little 1,400 square footer, 3.2, sold for, let's go down here and look. I'll show you a little trick too on Zillow. So it was pending at 85,000 and then it sold. It doesn't tell us, but what it does tell us is it sold for 57 bucks a foot. So, hey, let's use a little bit of logic here. Let's take our calculator and take 1,400 square feet times 57 bucks. This thing sold for $79,800. So let's call it $79,000. So I'm gonna assume that this is a distressed property. It looks like a new door, looks like a roof, looks like some siding, paint right here, but we have no pictures. So I'm gonna assume that this little house probably needed renovated inside. So that's not ARV, that's not after repair, that's as is with probably work that needs done. You could try to find a description and see what that says. Maybe it gives you something helpful. I don't think this one did. No, it didn't really have any information. So that's our one sold comp. And then we've got this comp. And this is a relevant comp. It's 1,600 square feet, 3.3. Now we're a 3.2, and I'll show you why that matters here in a minute. But if you look at this comp here, they opened up this shotgun. So normally you'd have, this would be walk-in walls, right? So they ran a header across here, opened up the floor plan. That's a big deal. There's your open kitchen. There's another header. So there's your front door, room, room, room. That's normally how these are, with little doors into each room. They ran headers and opened up this whole floor plan. Now you get back into the bathrooms. Look, it's all remodeled. A little bit not the right things because they could be a little bit more modern. Big backyard for Louisiana. So we'll look at that too in a second. So that's this house here, but here's the floor plan. So see how they opened all this up? This is important. You want to understand this about how comps work. But look at this. Bedroom, bathroom. Ensuite means the bathroom is part of your bedroom, right? Laundry right here. And then look at this. These two bedrooms also have ensuite bathrooms. Kind of a cool floor plan. 3 bedrooms with 3 ensuite bathrooms. That's a big deal. Ours does not have that. Ours is a 3.2, not a 3.3. That means this gives you kind of a premium. And the other thing that this has is, I thought this one had a loft. That's a different one we'll look at in a minute. So that's it. And this thing sold for, go down here. It sold for $165 a foot. So if we take 1,600 times 165, $264. So that's a pretty good comp, $264. So that's an ARV of $264. So that's our only relevant comp in the past 12 months in our square footage range in this neighborhood. But here's something that you want to pay attention to that I did. I'm going to switch this back to actives because one comp is okay. It's helpful, but it's not enough data. I don't really know. This could be an outlier. But what's interesting is if I put this on for sale, it finds 3 active comps. Now again, we're right here. So these are literally within a block of us. And let's take a look at these. This one is very alarming to me because it's active right now for $285. It's a 3.2 and it's a little bigger. It's 1713. We are 1620, so pretty close. But this is new construction. Fence in here. Look at the nice outside of this thing. And then you go inside this thing and it is nice. Like look at this thing. Nice open floor plan, recessed lights, nice wood doors, barn style, tile, granite. Like they really did a nice rehab on this house or new construction on this house. And what's got me worried, look at your little backyard, new fencing. What's got me worried on this house is it's not selling. It's been on market for 118 days. I want to go down to the price history. Oh, that's not it. Go down here. And now they started high at 329. Dropped it to 319, dropped it to 299, dropped it to 285. It's been at 285 now as of this recording for almost 2 months and it's not selling. So here's why this is significant. I got a rehab comp at 265, but right now I've got an ARV, a new construction, which new construction will sell sometimes for 20% more at 285, not selling, and it's brand new. That means I'm not feeling so good about 265 for a rehab. Not when I got an active new construction not selling at 285. And then what else do we have here? We've got another remodel. Now this one's way overpriced. It's a 3.2, but take a look at this thing. It's another rehab, But you can see here where they opened up the floor plan again. They've got crown, they've got recessed lights, they did a backsplash, and they did tile in the bathrooms. So, and then this has a loft. So look at the stairway up. They put a loft over this area here. It's a nice rehab. There's your loft on this thing. Deck up there, and so this is active as well for 309. But again, we all know, right, that we've got a sold for 265, an active new construction at 285, not selling. And let's look at the price history on this one. They started out at 350, then they dropped it to 329, and then let's see, about 10 days ago they dropped it to 309, and it's not selling. So we got two actives not selling in a hot market right now. And then this one's really alarming. It's smaller, it's 1280, we're 1600, so clearly it's a smaller house. Not great, right? You got like this one door, no front windows, pretty narrow, pretty tiny, but it's been renovated. Now, I like to look at the floor plan here. So this is more like the normal shotguns. You got a long hallway all the way through the whole thing. That's why it's a shotgun. So you come in the living room, walk through bedroom, keep walking kitchen, bath, bedroom, and then another bath and laundry on this side. And the rehab's not so great. Like those wood floors aren't finished very nice. You kind of got the wrong kind of cabinets, but they're new and updated and appliances. There's your wood floors, tile in the bathrooms. Like it's still a rehab. It's still money into this thing. And this is sitting at 218.9, not selling. So given the 219 comp, given this 285 new construction not selling, this one overpriced, only one sold that we can even count as a relevant sold at 265. I'm gonna take all of that information, assimilate it all, and I'm gonna put down a 250 as my ARV. So I put my 1620 here. I'm on my deal analyzer now. I'm gonna put this thing at around 250, 251. A rehab now to do this thing right, to try to hit 250, I'm gonna need to spend about 75,000. I gotta fix that front door I talked about in the very beginning. I've gotta fix something here. Maybe change this into a window, make it match these windows. That's kind of how that other new construction looked. I've gotta put a header in here. I've gotta open up a floor plan. I've gotta do all flooring, all cabinets, all bathroom, probably a roof. I gotta just assume a lot of work. Landscaping, put some fencing in the outside, and cost is up right now. I don't know about my windows, but this is gonna be every bit of a $75,000 rehab just to match this comp right here that's new construction to get 250, because this one's not selling at 285. See how it's got the fencing and everything's really nice. So I hope that makes sense. I hope the logic where I'm coming from makes sense. So in my numbers here, I'm gonna put 75 on my rehab, 251 on my ARV. Following the 70% formula means I'm taking 30% off the top. I break that down into 9% for closing, 6% for carry, which is cost of financing, and then a 15% profit. So that gives me a buy of 107.70. So basically, let's call it 100,000. So reversing the numbers, if I buy this house for 100,000, I spend 75 on the rehab, I spend 9,000 in total closing costs to buy it and closing costs to resell it. That counts commissions, transfer tax, closing fees, recording fees, all of that. That's going to be around 22,000. My financing cost, I like to borrow 100% to do all my deals. That's going to put me in the 15,000 cost. That means I'll make $37,665, assuming I hit all those numbers. That's where I want to be to make this a good fix and flip. So what's my number? I'll buy this deal all day long for 100,000. That's a good number for me to fix and flip this deal. Guys, this deal analyzer right here, it's really helpful. It's a built-in calculator. You just plug in your numbers. If you want this, I'll give this to you for free. Just go to mydealanalyzer.com and you can download that. The tool I use for this is Flipster. What I love about Flipster is it's got a workflow, we call it. So everything from finding your contacts, you're analyzing, getting your paperwork all in place. If it's a fix and flip like this one, you've got funding, getting everything through to your purchase, rehab tools to manage all of that, retail buyer with your contract then on the flip side when you sell it to a retail buyer, and getting paid. So it's a 10-step workflow, walks all the way through it. If it is a wholesale deal, I'll simply switch this from fix and flip to wholesale, and it has all of my steps to walk through this property, take it all the way through from start to finish, and wholesale it, including your cash buyer and everything involved with that. And so Flipster is really awesome. I run my entire business on the Flipster platform. It allows me to streamline, automate, keep things really organized. And so you can check that out if you'd like as well. Just go to getflipster.com to see how that works and actually see it in action. So it's really cool to see that. But guys, this is basically how I would look at this deal and how I would analyze this deal. I did it for free on Zillow, showing how I use the comps to kind of create my numbers. And I hope you found that helpful. Guys, leave a comment and let me know if you like deal breakdowns like this. I can do more of these. A lot of people really like to visually see how I would take a deal and break it down and show the numbers and putting it all together. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things wholesaling and flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.